after World War II that this was only economic agreements.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Economics. It is far beyond that. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Jerome Corsi. Stay with us right after the break. We're going to take your calls on these subjects. 800-259-9231. Thank you, Dr. Corsi.
Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Year after year, we watch the threats steadily increase. And now, this winter has been the worst on record when it comes to our immune systems and health. For more than 2 years, InfoWarsLife.com has been watching this crisis intensify, and Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Complex was our answer, using a proprietary process that takes ancient proven herbs and combines them with modern science. This powerful and affordable formula contains more than 14 key herbs and extracts, including echinacea, ginger root, elderberry, golden seal root, a proprietary yin chio formula, and many, many more. I take it, and so does my family. It's made in the USA, gluten-free, alcohol-free, no artificial flavors or colors, and not tested on animals. Take advantage of this introductory offer for Ancient Defense, normally $19.95, now only $14.95. That's 25% off. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139 to secure your Ancient Defense.
The average person's life is filled with unexpected challenges. Unlock the energy it takes to defeat these daily beasts with Super Male or Super Female Vitality, specifically designed to assist the body in regulating proper hormone balance to create superior vitality in males and females. Supercharge and conquer your world at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put 2 and 2 together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems and enhance overall health. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com Oil of Oregano formulation, a highly advanced nutraceutical form of this key herb that has been traditionally used by civilizations for thousands of years to promote health. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market, sourced from top leading manufacturers to ensure a concentrated level of bioactive ingredients. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules, you will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Wild crafted from the Mediterranean oregano species that experts agree is one of the most powerful and most challenging to acquire. This winter season, it's more important than ever to secure this true form of oil of oregano. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
Defending the Republic from enemies, foreign and domestic. It's Alex Jones.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight, and we're going to go to your calls in just a moment. We're going to talk a little bit more about this North American passport that they're proposing on CNN. Of course, we have an article up today on Infowars.com saying that after saying that the North American Union and the loss of sovereignty was a conspiracy theory for decades, CNN is now running articles saying, hey, let's get rid of the U.S. passports. Let's have a North American Union passport. Because, after all, we're all just one people, as Nancy Pelosi said, with a border that just happens to be running through it. It's no more important than the border that runs between Texas and Oklahoma, for example. So let's just make it all happen right now, and we see that they're rolling this out. They've been talking about it obliquely. I believe this is being consolidated and coming out in the open now because the next step is being created in secret. And, of course, those are these transatlantic and transpacific, quote-unquote, trade agreements. Yeah, they're trading a lot more than economics. They're trading our sovereignty, and they're trading our jobs, and it's going to be a race to the bottom. Before we go to your calls, I just want to remind you that we have the 2015 InfoWars calendar. If you put this in your office, this is going to be a great way to start conversations with people, and it's a way for you to get discounts each month. We have a code on the calendar that has coupons for that particular month that'll get you discounts at the InfoWars store. That's available at InfoWarsStore.com. Also, we have a new supplement, InfoWars Life Oil of Oregano. And if you've been looking at supplements for a while, you understand how powerful oregano oil is, but it is also very powerful if you put the liquid in your mouth. It burns quite a bit. So this is a way to get it in a capsule form that's a little bit easier to ingest and still have some of the the same effect with it. It's a great way to support your body's natural immunity, and that's available at InfoWarsLife.com. Now I want to go back, as I said, to this North American passport idea, how they're rolling this out, and just remind you that it wasn't that long ago. It was just last year that we heard David Petraeus, who, of course, is the former head of the CIA, say this about the North American Union.
After America comes North America. Are we on the threshold of the North American decades? Question mark. I threw away the question mark, and boldly proclaimed the coming North American decades as the title now. It's founded on recognition that if you put these three economies together, as has been the case 20 years into the North American Free Trade Act implementation, you find unique countries in terms of demographics.
That's good, yeah. So here we are, we're 20 years into the North American Union, so let's talk about what we did to you 20 years ago. See, that's the way the Trans-Pacific Partnership is going to roll out. They're not talking about that now, and if they focus you on the North American Union, maybe you won't even pay attention to the Trans-Pacific Partnership, the transatlantic partnerships that they're putting through. Are you going to be fooled again? As Ross Perot talking about that giant sucking sound, we've experienced that giant sucking sound. And right there, if you're watching this feed, that's the article that they put up on CNN, why we need a North American passport. And as I pointed out in the last segment, they said the future of the U.S. is in North America. They say, we're not talking about that geographically. That's not a geographic truism. That is a strategic imperative. Understand that they have a plan. They are executing this plan. They're doing it in secret without you knowing what's going on, without even congressmen who might be involved with it or elected representatives of other nations that are involved not knowing anything about what's going in it. We do know from some details that have been leaked thanks to WikiLeaks and some hackers getting these details, putting them out. We know that it's going to have broad implications, but we've already seen some of these things in terms of elevating corporations to the same level as states in a kind of arbitration scheme, where if they believe that their multinational profits have been harmed by your regulations, they can basically take you to an arbitration process, your country, and they can make your taxpayers pay them a fine to make up for their lost profits. Now, of course, this is going to be a way for them to strike down the prohibitions that people in other countries have enacted against genetically modified organisms, plants. They've experienced this. They've had the courage in some countries to shut down Monsanto and other genetically modified things that are a plague in our country. They own our government. We can't get anything to stop GMO, to even have a label as to what we have in our products here in America, because they so thoroughly own the government. But other governments have shut it down. So what are they going to do? They're going to go to a supranational organization where they can then force GMO products on these other countries. Everyone needs to be fighting this, not just in America, but in other countries as well, and understand that this is not an economic situation. You don't need to have a several thousand-page trade agreement negotiated in secret with corporate lobbyists in order to have free trade. We've had free trade in this country before. It didn't require that. This is corporate governance at a global scale, merging these different regions together. And we can see how this is working out. Here's some more from this op-ed piece. They say, in recognition of our shared destiny, the three countries, that'd be Mexico, Canada, and the United States, should create a North American passport that would, over time, allow their citizens to travel, work, invest, learn, and innovate anywhere within North America. And they say trade has exploded in the 2 decades since the passage of the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. Well, how has that worked out for you? I don't think it's worked out for us really too well. But they say the economic prosperity and education and security of Mexico's people. See, this is all about bringing us down and not taking Mexico up. But they're portraying it as bringing Mexico up to the same level as America. They say that will help to determine the overall competitiveness of North America on the global stage. They say barriers to movement that remain too high for the people who help drive and who stand to benefit from that growth. In other words, you stand to benefit from this growth if you're coming into Mexico and you can get out-of-state tuition at any university that you want, and you can stay as long as you want. And, oh, by the way, you may be able to get free junior college education, which isn't free. If you read the actual plan from the White House, he's only proposing to pay up to 75%. And we can take bets as to how long you think it's going to take for that 25% that you pay. How long is it going to take for that 25% to be more expensive than the 100% that you're paying right now? Of course, what's happened is, as we see government increasingly subsidize college educations, we've seen the price go up. Just as we've seen the price go up on health insurance and other things that they subsidize. It always works out that way. Now, the interesting thing, I think, is the angle that the New American took, which basically said that this is something where they have worked for years to deny that this is anything that was really happening, calling it a conspiracy theory, and now they're running op-ed pieces saying we need to get rid of our passports. Now, we've got a couple of people on the phone who want to talk about the American Union and the New World Order, but we've got Scott from California who's been waiting a long time. He's an executive at a hospital. He said he wanted to talk about hospital flu shots. Go ahead, Scott.
Hey, David. I appreciate you taking the call. First-time caller, long-time listener.
Well, thank you for calling.
I work at a hospital. I appreciate it. I work at a hospital in Southern California, and definitely the flu shot is getting people sick. I was one of the few people that that declined it. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of peer pressure they put on you for not taking the flu shot. There's green badges and red badges, and you're a complete pariah in the organization if you don't take the flu shot and have a little green badge. Mm-hmm. But everybody I know that took the shot has gotten sick, and it all came on probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It started, but they do them in batches, and so as each batch hit, you started to see the people that got those batches get sick in all the departments. We had a time when a lot of the hospital was out because they were all sick.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I think when Piers Morgan made a big deal out of it when he was still on American television, he made a big deal out of getting his flu shot, and he immediately got the flu. It's like, but that's just an anecdotal evidence. We're just saying it doesn't prove anything, but it kind of looks like what we've been hearing from a lot of people. Go ahead. Yeah,
no, it's absolutely going on. And, I mean, the other thing I was going to say, I also want to talk a little bit about the chemtrails. Because I recently moved to the Valley, and about a week and a half ago, they started really spraying heavy. And they've stopped again now, but, it was right, and I don't know if there's any correlation, but it was right before, the East Coast got hit by the storm of the century. Mm-hmm. And the timing was sort of around when that weather system would have hit out there. They finally let it rain again out here. It hasn't been raining for a long time. And, they stopped the trailing a little bit, and it's been raining a little bit, which has been good, but, I don't know what's to that. I've been trying to figure it out. I'm kind of a scientist by background. So,
well, clearly they've talked about how they could use climate change. I mean, there was just a conference in Germany this last fall where they're talking about, well, we know we can do this. Of course, we're not doing it. We're really not doing this right now. But, if we were to do it, for example, who gets to set the thermostat? Who gets to decide what the weather is going to be when we start modifying the weather? And, of course, there's a lot of different aspects to that. And we've had someone who did a Paul Revere contest entry who also has an app. It's called Skyder Alert. And they've basically crowdsourced research on people when they see massive persistent contrails that are kind of in a grid position that's a bit unusual. They take pictures of it, they send it around so that they can kind of crowdsource the research. And they've noticed a correlation between an increase in temperature and areas where they had that kind of cloud formation. So we have to do our own research because we know that the government will not tell us what they're doing. Whether it's the North American Union, whether it's the Trans-Pacific Partnership, whether it's Benghazi, any of this stuff, we're not going to get any straight answers from them. All they do is treat us with contempt. So we have to do our own research. Thank you so much, Scott. Let's go to Dan in Tennessee. You said you wanted to talk about the American Union?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, gotcha. Go ahead.
Oh, fantastic. All right, thanks for having me, guys. I've been an info warrior for a long time, and you guys not only allowed me to meet my wife and have our 3 beautiful sons, but also got me through economic school.
Oh, great.
Here's what I want to talk about.